It looks good. Ginger and I walked a pilgrimage in Spain called the Camino de Santiago. Each year, 350,000 people walk 17 different routes that end at the tomb of St. James in a little town in northwest Spain called Santiago de Compostela. As we walked through the farmland for those 70 miles, I noticed the small farms. Some pastures were as small as an acre. They are really serene. Many of the walls are made of stone. It reminded me a lot of Scotland. But as an economist, I had to wonder how this makes sense. I commented to Ginger, "You think any of these farmers have ever seen the great expanse of a wheat field in Kansas?" See, the economy of scale is much greater in Kansas. And in central South Dakota, where I grew up, there are cornfields that are a mile square. How do these small Spanish farms with 1-acre pastures and a dozen Austrian milk cows compete? I told one of our fellow pilgrims along the way about my experience in Switzerland. Small farms, like those Spanish farms, have these really bucolic-looking, huge brown cows in Switzerland. I found out later that they are there to impress the tourists. The farmer is paid by the government for each cow he owns. The Swiss transfer money from profitable sectors to the unprofitable farming sector because it looks good to the tourists. Say, as it turns out, Mr. Mastriano wants to do the same thing. Reading again from his press release, Pennsylvania's agricultural land provides scenic images of rural life landscaped across fertile valleys of surrounding hills and mountains. These open spaces are a beautiful backdrop and draw thousands to our state to spend money in Pennsylvania's growing agritourism business. We must act now to preserve these lands, end quote. Here's the problem. He's killing the goose that laid that golden egg. He is purposely driving up the cost of living so people will move to states with lower costs of living, like Texas and Florida. So, as the Christian Economist, I don't see any biblical support for this land control scheme. But as a Texan whose industries compete with Pennsylvania, I think it sounds pretty good. I'm Dave Arnott, the Christian Economist. Fear God, tell the truth, earn a profit. See you next time.